Hi guys, welcome to my first coloring session. We're gonna see. Today I'm gonna be coloring in a part of my fashion collection that I've been sketching while in quarantine. I've missed it a lot, but I just really never felt like I could commit to sitting down and drawing it while I was working. It's not like I had a particularly demanding job, I just never felt like it. I just felt like I was working really irregular hours. This collection that I'm doing is an athletic wear collection. It's inspired by the Outer Banks and the beach, but it's also inspired by other things like sea glass and hang gliders. But this part that I'm starting with is the beach part. A lot of blues and neutral beiges for like sand. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go in and start. I'm gonna start with this girl who I think I want to just have like a complete blue set, and I wanted to use my Brittany blue for this one. I included like these little ruched areas. These are ruche pockets and ruche cowl neck effect for the top, but it's all kind of in a spandexy polyester kind of material that's nice for sweat wicking and working out. So I'm just gonna go in here. And I have not colored in so long, so I'm like a little nervous. Well, I've definitely committed to a color, so it would surprise nobody that I have come up with this collection for a beachy themed athletic wear collection, in part due to the fact that, you know, I've been quarantined and everyone else has been quarantined also. So this is kind of like my subconscious speaking, I think, being like, hey, we want to go to the gym and also go to the beach. I am leaving these two pockets open because I wanted to use like a darker blue color on them because I'm trying to give it this detail, looking like she's just stepped in water. You'll notice that my marker is desperately crying out for help and begging to be put out of its misery. I did have to halt production on this color sesh to purchase and receive a new Brittany blue, so you'll notice that my marker magically becomes fresh as a daisy soon, and that is through the reviving power of artist tears. So, yeah. And it's so sad that I feel like I can't be a Prismacolor stan for the rest of my life because they just die on you and you have to make a brand new marker purchase, and I'm just trying to be about sustainability here. I left this little spot open because I figured I would put this detail in my athletic wear also, where all of the armpit areas would have an extra panel of like a dark fabric so that it never looked dingy due to sweat. I thought that that was such a good idea. So here I am, honestly selling to the world how my almost dead, currently dying marker can still, like, get it for these leggings with the simple addition of a shadow. And it worked out for these leggings, but that's just not going to be the case for every single marker dying situation, as you'll soon see. That's never what we want. I used to be very much a stickler about you have to get every detail of the face right, but lately, like, if you want to just be as simple and as basic as possible when it comes to your fashion design, honestly, if you can just get the eyebrows, you're pretty good. Like, that's pretty much half the battle. And I do mean that's all you have to do. The cool thing about fashion design that I've only taken advantage of once is that style exists. You can be the worst drawer and draw a circle for the face with a line through it where the eyes should be, and you will be the edgiest, most minimal mofo. I'll also send you the worst, nastiest side eye, but that's okay. You'll be a fashion icon, so don't let me stop you. I also decided to make her a redhead, so I'm using my light tan Prismacolor marker color, which I think is just such a pretty shade, instead of just using like a simple orange color. But I guess that would be kind of elementary to be like orange is redhead and yellow is blonde. Someone should design a whole collection or a professional level illustration using only a Crayola 8-pack, or however much the basic pack is. I don't really know off the top of my head. Personally, I already incorporate the most basic colored pencil colors in my work, and I just think that there's something so great about using children's art supplies. It really kind of just grounds you. Like, it's not that serious, loosen up, and have fun. Because I think a lot of artists forget that whenever we're trying to make something amazing or masterpiece worthy. It's like, no, this is not that serious, just have fun. I think I'll have to do that. I think I'll have to challenge myself to draw something amazing and have the result be achieved fairly high level using only children's art supplies. I think that's a good idea. Now, the thing is, I don't know quite exactly what I want to do with her because I figured I wanted to do something where it was like blue bottoms and then like a neutral colored top. So it could be like a sand to water transition. I don't know yet. I'm still toying with it. What I think I want for this one is I think I want a nice neutral top and then the same color blue pants. I think for the perfect camely beige neutral kind of color, I think I'm going to go for the mocha light color. I was thinking that this could be a really cute little sports bra that would be very wearable because it is a neutral color. And I think with athleisure brands, you always want wearability and making it like into actual real clothes that you can wear other places. This isn't quite athleisure, this is activewear. Like, I want this to be functional, but I also want people to want to wear it to other places too. I don't know if it's still in fashion or on trend or anything, but I have been eyeing the heck out of bustier style tank tops. Not entirely full bustier, like a half boost, a baby boost. Tops that have some sort of structure or underwire or boning underneath the chest, and it's sort of like a little seam that goes underneath, and it's just so flattering. Joa Brown does something like that. There's like that Orson Iris top that is so famous for that weird but chic kind of tank top. I want to hop on that trend and I want to wear it to death because I just love that loungy, structured kind of top. I want to make the perfect lifestyle but still active tops that are just so cute, so seamed, so structured, and have impeccable design level. They could be timeless basics, but they also have a little bit of a twist added onto them. Oh, and I also just wanted to show, I have like these two little inspo pictures of what I'm kind of looking for as far as like activewear that I know about. This one is just from Pinterest. I don't know where this is from, but it looks like something that like Outdoor Voices would make. This one is by 24 Active. This bra is called the Accent Bra. I have this, but it's so cute to the point that I don't want to wear it working out because I don't want to ruin it. I shouldn't think that way because it's a sports bra, but I don't want to mess it up. Like, I just don't want to get it dirty. I don't know if I'm gonna have another blue for this part of the collection. I kind of just want to stick to the Britney blue, and I feel like if I got a blue that was just too green or too aqua-y, it would come off looking very like tropical, very like a Thai beach or like a Bali beach. Another thing about this collection was that I really wanted it to have pockets in every single legging. So for this one, I couldn't find a way to put a pocket on the side because of all this side detail. So I included this little back pocket, which actually I didn't know that I would love that pocket so much, but I recently bought myself a Lululemon zoned in tight, which has quickly become my favorite legging. It was a pleasure to run in. Like, it was just so nice. So naturally now I am on the hunt for leggings with zip up back pockets, which you'd think would be easy, but it's actually quite challenging because everyone seems to want to put a side pocket or a waistband pocket, but nobody really wants to deal with the back pocket. I don't really understand. It's weird to me. But it just all really goes into more problem solving, which I still am convinced that athletic wear retailers just don't really understand what that is because, problem solving, that even goes into the plus size market. Like, make more leggings for plus size women. My girl Bailey is a plus sized queen. She used to work at Dick's Sporting Goods, right? So she kind of clued me in on some of the brands. I mean, first of all, it was not enough. She's kind of the inspiration for this whole plus size added element. Can you hear my little brother singing? That just means that he's happy. But I'm even looking for things for my mother. I want her to go out and work out with me, but she really just doesn't have anything that she likes that she can fit into that makes her feel confident, and that's sad. And I'm sorry, but everyone can benefit from exercise. It really isn't a size thing. Because even the most muscular, most in shape woman needs to hit the gym. In fact, she probably wants to hit it more than most. And I can attest to that as I was ripped away from my gym routine due to quarantine, and all I wanted to do was go to the gym. I could feel myself losing tone. And don't get it twisted, I am an advocate for body positivity, but I'm also just someone who thinks that everyone should be in the gym. It doesn't matter who you are. So today is the second day that I am working on this. Real quickly, something that I did do off camera. I made a mistake originally, and I colored this whole legging this Brittany blue shade of Prismacolor, and I realized that that wasn't what I wanted to do because I wanted to do like a transition, like this was supposed to be the tide, and I realized that a little too late. I was like, I need to fix that, obviously. Removing colors after they've already dried down is a hard task to do. That's why I didn't really film it, is because I really didn't know if it was gonna work. Because if it wasn't gonna work, I think I was just about done with this whole thing. Like, that's so sad to say, but honestly, if you're kind of a perfectionist artist or a little OCD about your art, like, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, if it's not perfect, then you're just kind of not happy with it, you're not proud of it. Anyway, so what I did was I did go in a little bit with my colorless blender just at first. It had already dried down, so it was like kind of a lost cause, but it did make it a little bit lighter. Then I went in and I did a very fine hatching with my white gel pen. Honestly, if you don't have a white gel pen, this thing comes in handy so often. And then I colored over it with some white colored pencil, and then I just kind of did this little shadowing with a cool gray colored pencil. I think it looks pretty believable. I mean, that is the color that I wanted. I wanted this beautiful light blue, so I think I really achieved that. Last time I had run out of my Brittany blue. This baby had gone dry. They did come in the mail. Here were all the colors that I got. With the exception of one color, I ordered a soft greenish blue Copic, and they did not give that to me. Instead, they gave me duplicates of the pale fruit pink. I'm so excited to try out all these new colors. I did get a new Brittany blue. I got it in the chisel tip, which I'm very excited about. I also got soft sun, light aqua blue, green tea. I got two gray tones, the neutral gray number 2 and neutral gray 0. And then I got light walnut, which is a new Prismacolor marker color for me, and then of course I got the pale fruit pink. I am just waiting on the soft greenish blue. Once that comes in, I'm going to be very happy. It is a beautiful color of blue. Oh my gosh, I am so ready for that to come in because it looked gorgeous. I'm just going to finish coloring in this pant now that I have my refreshed blue. Hindsight is 2020, but I probably should have stopped coloring at that point and just waited. Now, obviously, I have to be a little bit more careful. The moral of the story, kitties, is that I don't know what I'm talking about all the time. And so I ended up sucking my pride through a turtle-killing straw, which is the worst kind of sucking. And I put a whole new color layer over top the whole pant, thus making it overall a darker shade of blue. But you know what? We make mistakes with markers, but this is why God gave us the colorless blender, the white gel pen, and the white colored pencil. So I'm going to pencil scribble this girl to filth. And honestly, now this legging looks kinda 80s gymnast spandexy with that lustrous high shine polyelastane blend knit, and I don't hate it. Currently, I'm considering buying some aloe airlift leggings on Poshmark, and those things look like they want to make my lower half look drenched in oil, just fully submerged in water and then glistening in the sun. And I fully welcome it. I guess it's just one of those things that became a happy accident because I really kind of dig this effect. I don't know, it's cool. It's very sleek and gives a whole new texture, and I guess I need to go find that new fabric swatch. I think texture is definitely an important thing in leggings. You definitely want a good material when you're working out, something very sweat wicking, but also not too slippery so that it's gonna like slide down your butt. Like, who wants that? And I used to not be a fan of this very spandexy fabric, but honestly, sometimes you just kind of want your legs to hit that high shine note. And with the overly matte leggings, sometimes they just are too brushed to the point of being kind of insulating and almost too warm. And I don't know, it's just like whenever I'm working out, I don't know if I really want to brush against a brushed fabric that much with my like sweaty arms. I don't know, that just doesn't really appeal to me. The high shine look definitely does have its place in the athletic wear community. I don't know how exactly that will work with plus size bodies. I don't know if that's something that's desirable in that market. I guess it would come down to which fabric would be better on cellulite and maybe hiding things, because you kind of have to strike that balance of not looking like you're a sausage casing, but then also just kind of not holding anything in at all. You definitely need some compression. I know my mom, who is plus sized, doesn't really seem to understand that you do need the compression. She doesn't understand compression as a concept. She's like, why is it so tight on my body? And I'm like, it's meant that way. It's good for circulation. You really want the compression. And she just doesn't like how tight it is on her body. I think I'm ready to move on to this girl. I think I'm gonna do this girl's face first. So this girl does have a deeper skin tone. I recently watched a video on someone coloring a deeper skin tone with Copics. You know, that was really good to see. Like, I really love people making videos about that sort of thing. I think a lot of people struggle with deeper skin tones. So I think if you never learned about just color theory and impressionism and finding nuances in color, then drawing different skin tones will be very difficult for you. I was blessed to have very even skin tone, and you really can never tell when I'm blushing or anything other than when I work out. But even still, it's like I have blood going through my face. Everyone does. I think oftentimes people forget about the warmth in the skin tones whenever they draw deeper skin tones. Even when they draw lighter skin tones, it's like, where's the pink? Where's the orange? Like, where are these warmer colors? Because it's just so gray. Now, if you're choosing to not represent every skin color and body type under the sun, you're sorely missing out on so many opportunities in your drawing and in fashion. I think as a general rule of thumb, you should be trying to make your fashion illustrations as if you were the creative director of a magazine. And this was all part of a larger editorial. If this was the magazine that I was putting out into the world, would it get good reception? Would it be visually interesting? Would it be inclusive to everyone? Would it be what I would want to read? If the answer's no, then maybe I gotta go back on some things. I'm also like legit doing a full-blown model casting as I draw. I'm literally matching clothes to the woman that I want to be wearing each look, as if they were walking down a runway. But at the same time, I also do just love to draw women. I love to draw faces. Any way that I can challenge myself to make my women more dynamic, more interesting, I'm always going to do that. Based on what I've seen from other fashion illustrators, people that I've known in fashion, it seems like everyone has a baked in bias towards what they're used to being themselves, obviously. And so it's like you could be anyone and it's going to reflect in your art. I think that that's kind of something that you're going to have to break free of. That's the challenge, is what I'm referring to. Just doing something different from yourself and being different from yourself. I've proven many times that I have the ability to draw my face. Frankly, I'm getting sick of my face. My face is worn and tired, and I've done that before. That's what she said. There's a whole world of other people that I could draw with probably more interesting features than mine. People who are probably way more attractive than me. I should be drawing the pretty people, let's be honest. I shouldn't be wasting time on my old mug. There's actually only one instance of someone that I know of who didn't draw based on what they look like, and that's actually my friend Cheyenne. She drew her croquis in a way that looked very bordering on anime, but not anime. Like, they were kind of cartoony, kind of Japanese inspired, and she's very far from that. So it was just kind of interesting because I think she really loved that style, and she's definitely into that culture and world. So I think that that's kind of where that came through. I'd like to do that actually one day, where I do a whole collection and the style of my croquis are all anime. And then the lookbook, of course, would be amazing too. I'm all for styles when you can actually draw in the first place. I don't know what I was doing with this hand. I was like trying to do something interesting with the fingers and it just ended up looking very off, so don't look too hard at that. Alright, so I'm back now. This is the third day that I'm working on this baby. I'm pretty satisfied with how she's turned out. I think she looks great. New plan. I think I want to make this the big color block piece because it is so varied with different shapes and different textures with the ruching. So I think I'm going to make this one whole set that is completely color blocked with all of the beach colors. I am a little nervous about using a lot of these colors on people with deeper skin tones and people who are considered plus size. I just don't quite know all the ins and outs of it yet. I had my best friend tell me her opinions on plus size activewear. She is plus size, and I asked her share a lot of her thoughts, and she said that the majority of the time she will steer clear of light colors for things like cellulite and showing everything, and also just the illusions that color brings to people and making people slimmer. I'm trying to keep that in mind when I am drawing for plus size models. For people with deeper skin tones, it definitely depends on the person's undertones, and obviously I'm not going to be able to please everyone, but I certainly do like making the effort. I feel like even with my skin tone and my body type, there are even still some colors that I avoid, but I want to believe that all of those color fears are all in my head and that secretly everyone looks amazing in every color, but that just isn't always true. One thing that I actually forgot to do when I was initially drawing this, which I am going to fix now, is I forgot to add a little armpit panel, and this one is going to be very slight in this top because the angle just does not leave me very much room to do it. So my thought for the legging is definitely going to be in the same vein as the top. This is going to be my color block set. I'm going to do this color, the mocha light, onto this panel, and then have these pockets, these are both pockets, have that be the cool gray, and then have the ruching as well as the inside of the pant all be the blue. So I'm going back in with the mocha light to get that classic sand color. And then onto the cool gray. I actually really love this cool gray. It's like its own color, but then it can also darken things. This is why I love Prismacolors. I have yet to really experience this with Copics, because whenever I use Copics, I'm trying to use these neutral grays and they just don't seem to darken anything. They just kind of seem to make it gray. Like whatever they touch, it's just gray now. When I was first learning how to use Prismacolors, I was told to do like circling motions for coloring. I don't exactly find that to be true 100% of the time. Sometimes you can get away with just doing some like linear streaks, not have it end up being super streaky on your page unless you're of course working with a dry marker, as we all know. It all depends on how fast you can do it before the marker dries down onto the page. I definitely like to go in with the chisel tip, probably a little too hard when it comes to putting in my shadows. I just kind of like the blockiness of what that whole mark ends up doing to the shadows. And for me, the shadows end up being the whole basis for my confidence in drawing. It's ridiculous. When I'm laying my base down, I'm always like, why is it so flat and terrible? How have I ever put out good croquis? And immediately, shadow goes on and it's like pulled back from the depths of the underworld and entirely revived. I just don't get how it works like that. And that's the good thing about these markers, is that like the more ink that you put down, the better it gets. It just becomes weathered, more worn in. It becomes a whole different look once you put down a few different layers. And so I've always just run my markers dry trying to get all those shadows in. I am just gonna go back in for the inseam crotch gusset. I am trying to do a lot of extended crotch gussets because I know that that's something that people love on their athletic wear. I love it on my athletic wear. Crotch gussets, I think, are just a really good way for extra support on a legging. I still don't know exactly how I feel about doing crotch seams all the way down in athletic wear. I get people feeling mixed ways about them, but I'm just out here trying to problem solve the whole athletic wear industry however I can, crotches and all. Now, because I'm kind of extra, I think I am gonna put in some nails. Nobody will notice it, although I am, in my lookbook of these illustrations, I am putting in some pictures, and I think I want to do a nail shot because I have a cool idea for what I want the nails to be conceptually from this collection, so I might come back to her leggings because I don't know, they're just a little too streaky. So now it is day 4 working on this first page, which means that I need to do something different or faster because I have 8, 7, something like that pages to go. So I did start the shoes. I did one pair that was just fully white, and then this pair is like the oceany shoe. I'm debating right now putting a stripe on the sole too, but I just think maybe I should just leave the sole white. And then this one I'm going to make the sand dune color combination. Yeah, I'm just going to finish up with this one, and then I think for the ending I'm just going to do last final touches. I need to do waistbands, and I think I have an idea of what I want to do for that. I need to finish up jewelry and things like that, little things. And then I also need to decide if I want to do makeup for these girls. Makeup is a hard thing to kind of commit to because if you do commit to it and it's the wrong thing, it can just make them all look like clowns. So I'm not trying to do that. I wish I could design an iconic sneaker, but I think that is for somebody who is skilled in areas that are much out of my reach. I've been thinking about this video and what I want the next one to be like. Obviously I have these other drawings to do. I don't know, I'm not sure because I want to be talking, but I don't know if I want to be talking about a singular thing. I feel like that will just take up a lot of my brain space that I need for drawing. Now I'm going to do the waistbands. What I decided to do for the waistbands is actually I want to do a metallic band for these like regular waistbands. I'm going to do them in the color of the pant. I was going to do them all in like this was. I just decided if someone is buying this legging, they probably don't want some color disrupting it. They just want the blue legging. And if somebody's buying this legging, then the whole point of this legging is that it's supposed to be like a beach tide transition. So I'm not going to disrupt that. I also want to do like the logoing of what my brand is going to be, but I don't know quite what that is yet. I am just going straight into the waistband because I'm going to touch up the highlights and the shadows separately, but I do want this to be very smooth transition. I want it to look like ribbon almost. Waistbands were another point of conflict for this collection. I like both elastic band and wideband sewn waistbands. More consistently though, I like an elastic band. They're simple, functional, hard to mess up. I find that they don't slide down like some sewn ones do. They're also just incredibly flattering. My curves just ooze out from that tiny waistband and I'm about it. But from listening to my girl Bailey, I'm not sure if everyone is quite on the elastic band bandwagon. I think I've decided on what I'm gonna do for these girls' makeup. I'm just very worried about it. I have all of my blues out. So if you remember what I said earlier about makeup and the possibility of it turning into clown makeup, well, you can decide what you think about this look. I can't be the one to tell you what to think. So yeah, that's an interesting eye. Alright, so I'm gonna let that look kinda live. I think I like it. And then I think I'll just do the same onto these other girls. Maybe we'll just make it like a little wave eye. I do think that the wave eye turned out decent, given what I was expecting with blue makeup, because the last collection that I did was an evil eye collection, and you would think an evil eye collection would provide bountiful opportunities for a beautiful eye makeup look. I used blue around the eye, and it looked so clown-like. I was so disappointed, so then I had to vary the makeup amongst, I had to start out with the girls wearing that awful clown makeup, and then gradually I transitioned and made it more natural looking so that I could somewhat show how I was still a decent artist with these girls. It was a mess. I was not about it. It was not good, so do not recommend. And while I don't know if dramatic makeup is the move for a workout, no Instagram influencer, startup brand, or long established athletic wear company is gonna come for me saying that I did anything short of my own damn thing.